Yeah, people have told me that I seem like somebody that would join a cult, which is not a
Which one?
compliment. No, none in particular. I think like when I was younger, like definitely in my 20s, I was like, I'd get really into astrology, then I get really into palm reading, and then
Mhm.
I get really into having like my chart read. So I would get excited about things.
I almost got sucked into Landmark Forum. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
So I think it was a cult. It's one of these improve yourself, self-improvement courses, but I didn't know what I was going to. This is when I lived in Los Angeles. I had a friend in my feminist circles, because when I was like super social justice, I thought we were going to a feminist bookstore for a reading. And then I don't know how we got our wires crossed. But anyway, she picked me up at my house and I was on the phone with, at the time I was working in comedy management. I was on the phone with this agent. We were trying to do this TV show. It was an important phone call. I'm just saying that so you understand. We didn't talk the whole way there. I was on this call. We didn't talk about where we were going. We get there. It's a hotel. We get out. I finish the call in the lobby, and then I finally say hello to my friend. How are you? Whatever. Go up, get on the elevator, go upstairs, and it's this huge auditorium. And there's a woman on stage with a Madonna microphone.
Oh God.
And and I'm like, what is this? I thought we were coming to like a small feminist book. We sit down, and then I realize everybody brought someone. Like she brought me.
You were the plus one.
Yes.
You were the dupee.
Yes. And at a certain point, the woman's on stage is giving this lecture about the ways that all the different lenses that we wear that color our view of ourselves. And she was doing a fun illustration where she was taking people's glasses and putting like several pairs of glasses on. And these are your self-restricting views about yourself, and then taking them off. And then at a certain point, they basically say, okay, are you going to throw down like $500 for these courses? And I said, no. My friend turns to me, and everybody turns to their friend and starts talking to them. And I said, no, I really don't want to put that much money into this right
Did
now.
your friend do this? Did your friend put this money down and they bought
Yes.
into it? Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So I was her recruit. I didn't know she was in Landmark, and she brought me there. And then if you say no, then they have them push you a little. And she did push me where she offered, well, I can loan you the money because that's how much I believe in Landmark Forum. I'll loan you the money for the courses, and if you don't, and I was like, just don't feel good about
and
it.
now you're paying this girl interest.
Yes, like no. But I'll tell you,
Forum, it's called.
I was this close because they make a good pitch, and you're in the moment. I understand now why people kind of get swept up with things, because you're sitting there and you've got they know how to bring people in because your friend brings you and then is making the pitch to you. But it just was so weird looking around this huge auditorium, and there's 1,000 copies of me and her, like these little conversations happening. There you go.
Wow. Did you guys want to live an extraordinary life and redefine what's possible? Do you want to bring about positive, permanent shifts in the quality of your life? Look how diverse. Do you have a shitty life? Are you sad? Did you know that more than 94% of participants surveyed reported the Landmark Forum made a profound and lasting difference in their lives? The Landmark Forum is designed to bring about positive, permanent shifts in the quality of your life in just 3 days? What the fuck?
3 days? Tell me how.
I've been spending years of my life and all this shit hasn't happened. You're telling me just in 3 days this can happen? These shifts are the direct cause for a new and unique kind of freedom and power. The freedom to be at ease and the power to be effective in the areas that matter most. They've still said nothing. They've said nothing this whole time. The quality of your relationships, the confidence with which you live your life, your personal productivity, your experience of the difference you make, and your enjoyment of life. It's just like, oh, everything is better, but we're not going to be specific about how and why.
It's probably, with inflation, I bet it's $800 now.
How does that work? Landmark's breakthrough technology. What is their breakthrough technology? They're not even telling you. Transformative learning structures. It's all like
yeah, and it's one of those personal development things where the whole setup is that they get you to continue to pay more money for further development classes. And I'm not saying that people don't sometimes improve themselves through things like, I'm sure they do, because every cult has something, they're borrowing from some universal truths. That's how they sell themselves, but then they market it as this special knowledge, and it's all built on like getting you to spend more and more. And yeah.
Wow. Rackets. This is a racket. Oh my God. This is so interesting. And you can spend you're saying that this was $500 when you went a couple years ago?
I think it was 500, maybe 800 then. I can't remember, but it was less than
Wow.
1,000, but it was enough that I said, no, thank you. I think I'll just think about it.
This is so funny because I almost spent like a couple years ago, I almost spent like $2,000 to sign up for like, what was it, a 6 or an 8-week course. And it was this woman whose book I read, who I really enjoyed. Her name was, she goes by Mama Gina, but her real name is like Regina Thomas Hauer. Yeah, Regina Thomas Hauer.
I don't know her.
And it's her book that I read that I really liked was called Pussy, and it was all about like women embracing their like making pleasure a priority, which women don't. Like a lot of women, and particularly moms, like you put yourself dead last. My mom was a martyr, like took pride in putting herself dead last, and then would like let everybody know how little she was prioritizing her own self, and how, like that's something to strive for. So this is her. And she's very cool. I had gone to some of her like speeches, at the Javits Center or whatever. Here's a book that I read, Pussy, A Reclamation. And I liked the book a lot. I like would bring it to work and like read it during.
Here's something.
I would read it in the cafeteria. Discover what no one taught you about the source of your feminine power and how to use it.
Here's something. Her branding. Look, it's all white. The book, it looks like it has gold. Yeah, gold gilded font. It looks like a Bible almost. Yeah. And that picture on the front page of her, it's all white, like a J-Lo green room.
Yeah, it's classy. Classiness is the way in. It's a New York Times bestseller. And I know like there's guys listening to this going, oh, this is a book about like masturbating. It really wasn't. It was just about finding. Now this is gonna sound like bullshit. Finding your deepest truth, radical self-celebration, how to end the war with your body, why a woman's sensual awareness is critical for her spiritual, intellectual, emotional health. What my biggest takeaway from this was like, oh yeah, when you're feeling cranky and cunty, like just take a bath. Like that was my big takeaway, is like, oh, and like if your clothes that you don't look and feel hot in, like go ahead and just like donate those. Like don't feel bad about it.
Okay, so do you know that book, The Ethical Slut, that everybody was reading a few years ago?
Oh, wait, hold on. I want to get to that. So this is the program I almost signed up for. So like you read the book and then you come to one of her speeches and then it looks just like this. There's like a huge like Javits Center full of women. And then there's women like embedded in the crowd that have done the program. And it's like, in fact, this comedian that I know, Jocelyn Chia, did this program, and she said it helped her with her goals so much. And she, and now she's like past fast forward. She did it years ago, but fast forward now she's past at the Comedy Cellar. Like she's has a pretty good comedy career. I mean, she's trying to people write her jokes, but she like goal wise, she's doing great. And I was like, that was to me like, oh wow, maybe I should sign up.
Personal testimony, right?
Personal testimony. That's what it's about. And so this was like, okay, now it's a virtual pleasure boot camp, maybe because after COVID, it's all got to be virtual now. But I really
you almost did this. That picture up there would make me. I mean, look, they picked a good photo.
Oops. And it's also vague. Like, how do we connect with our power? How do we speak our truth, overcome fear? It's like all just general stuff. But it's so easy. And it was $2,000. And the whole deal was like, I was sitting there like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to just throw down on like a class. And they would tell you, like, they make it seem like they give it a sense of urgency. Well, we can do, this is really worth it to yourself. Like, does the rest of your life mean anything to you? Like they make it sound like, you're investing in yourself. I mean, do you feel like you're worthy of investing in yourself? And then you have the women that are like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then everyone claps, it's like,
yeah, your future starts now. Don't put it off.
You feel a sense of panic. Like if you walk away, I remember being in that room, like if I walk away from this, like, am I deciding that I don't want a better life if I don't do this? I mean, it's like I've spent hundreds of dollars on dumb shit and clothes and stuff. And so what's 2,000 on something that's definitely going to make my life better? And then I don't know, I think I was thinking of it once, and maybe I talked about it with Frank once, and he was like, no, fuck no, don't do it. Like he was so firmly and abruptly like, no, don't do this way. That's way too much. And it kind of like,
snapped you out of it.
It snapped me out of it. But I definitely see how easy it is to just be like, of course I want to invest in myself. I've been ignoring myself for years. People that are like, I'm busy with the kids, or this is like really appeals to people that have like been in abusive relationships, and they just, you know what I mean? Like, now it's time for me.
Yeah.
And not to call this woman a grifter. Like, I'm sure she's made positive impact in a lot of women's lives, but it was this combination of like, someone I know did it and it made their life better, and like, just, it's so uplifting. You come in, there's this music, and at times she makes everybody get up and dance, and
yeah,
the more I talk about this, like, the dumber it really does sound.
That's how it sounds when I explain Landmark and how I almost got it. But when you're there is this excitement and some of the things that are positive. Again, I think these places are successful because they bring elements of universal truth and community and all these things that we really crave, and they put them together, but then they sell you this sort of, we've got the one answer, and here's the expensive price tag, but you're investing in yourself, right? Like, I don't know. It's not that they can't help people.
This takes advantage. I mean, it's very easy to take advantage of women. And I think just kind of observing like the psyop of the last 2 years, like, you learn that like, okay, like, I think women are just easier to psyop because I think what we've seen, it's taking advantage of like a woman's kind of like nurturing, caring, like natural impulses. And you look at how the way the pandemic kind of like the powers that be, right? Big pharma, all of it, like kind of marketed specifically, like you have to do this for your family. You have to do this for others. You can't kill grandma. Like, think about how many people with like parents, like elderly parents that were still alive, like, I'm sure were manipulated into like still people walking around wearing masks, not traveling, not doing, you could kill someone. You have to mask up your kids. I just feel like women are more susceptible to this shit than men are.
I do. I agree with you, because women are more, they're more, on average, they're more agreeable than men. They're pleasers more than men. And they're more, what's that big five personality Jordan Peterson's always talking about? They're more neurotic than men. And I think that it's easier to manipulate their empathy. But I saw your tweet about this, because I think what happens is it's easier to psyop women, but then once you have the women, you can get the men.